tape kind of tell you from the last game or so that can help you in terms of adjusting for Chicago tomorrow?
Just speeding up our game. I found that we've played slower in the neutral zone, tried to complicate things in the neutral zone when we don't need to or it's not the right time. So we're just out of sync that way and forcing plays when we shouldn't. When we've played really quickly, moved our feet, moved the puck, and, forechecking and things of that nature, that's when our game has really been rolling, and we've gotten away from that a little bit. I think there's a fatigue element to that because it is a lot of work to do that. And then we just feel like that's crept into our game. But we took a day off the other day, and that's what you get in the NHL, right? You get one day. That's what you get to recharge the batteries, and then you got to get right back at it. That's the nature of our schedule. I thought we had a really good start yesterday. Liked our start in the game, and then we weren't able to sustain it. And I don't think it was from a lack of effort or anything of that nature. I actually think we defended quite well in the game. But when you would look at it and say the defense fell apart, it was a result of offensive play. And play with the puck and our decision making and our structure offensively. So that's where we got to get back on track.
Sheldon, how does a team learn then when we're all human beings, they're human beings, finely tuned, but where fatigue and energy level come into play at times, and how do you learn to get through those times and still have some success at the end of the night?
I think it's just about really trusting the purpose and process that you play with as a team and things that make us successful. It becomes harder to do when you get tired, whether that's because of the schedule or even when that's within your shift. Sometimes the shift wears you down and you're in the back half of your shift, and you need players to really be diligent, whether it's the guy with the puck, sometimes it's the guy off the puck. You got to stay switched on in those moments. So I think that's a big piece of it. It's a difficult thing, because you do know that the schedule's been challenging, but how much of that is really a factor? How much of it is that's just our teams, continuing to need to improve in these areas? You tend to lean towards the fatigue factor when you're coming off the road and things like that. But like I said, we took a day off, and that's what you get in the NHL. That's you get some time to recover. You got to get right back to it, and you got to show improvement. And I thought we started really well, as I said, but just I thought we really invited Tampa into the game, and a lot of those goals were self-inflicted. And that's what we got to clean up. It was very similar in Winnipeg.
I'm paraphrasing, but I think after one of the games you said that Kasha wasn't comfortable on the first line, and what allowed for this kind of adjustment to practice to try him out there again?
Yeah, I mean, I guess wasn't comfortable. Maybe it's not the right word. It was just it was out of sync, I guess, would be the biggest thing. Didn't have any time spent with Austin there, and as we've talked about, a lot of people would think you get elevated, you play with a player of Austin's caliber. That's an easy thing and a good thing, but it throws you out of rhythm, and it's difficult for it not to get in your head and play on you a little bit. But I talked to Cash this morning. I just feel like he's in a really good place right now. Obviously coming off of a great game last night, 2 goals, and also just played a really good, consistent game. And I just said reality of our situation is that despite the fact that we like him playing with Camp and the way that has gone, and we just with no Marner, no Spezza, we need to get a little bit more out of everybody, and that includes Cassius. So we're going to make that switch.
Could Mikheyev return tomorrow?
No, Mickey is out there today. It was really his first practice, full practice with us, and it was a brief practice. But we're just trying to get him back up to speed. He's bone and everything is healed very well. That appointment went well yesterday. He's going to go have another appointment with a specialist today, the same specialist that I think performed the surgery, and then just continue to progress. I think it's a strength issue right now. They're continuing to monitor that, and when that gets to to an acceptable level, he'll be ready to play. But in the meantime, he's going to continue to work out here to stay sharp.
How about Mrazek?
Our intent is for him to play tomorrow. He's today another full practice for him, so as long as he gets through tomorrow's morning skate and still feeling like he is right now, then the plan would be to activate him and play him tomorrow, but he has to get to that point still. I guess the biggest thing really is just getting back to his game, which for me is utilizing his speed and his length defensively to close on people and defend that way, and then also offensively using his speed and his reach to get out of trouble and move the puck up to the forwards quickly and efficiently. Right now, I think he's in his head a little bit in terms of what's the right play at the right time, and that tends to happen when the season isn't going the way that you'd like it to. But he's, like we've talked about and we've established, he's an important player for us. And we've moved the pairs around a little bit throughout the season, and it did here again today, like we did last night. But it doesn't change the fact that he's an important guy for us. That takes on a lot of difficult assignments, plays a lot of difficult minutes for us, and was doing so, when our team was playing at its best. So, we're taking more of a balanced approach here, with Sandine being out. But it doesn't change the fact that Halsey's an important guy.
Your thoughts on Steve and Rubens for their first 2 games?
I think they've been okay. They've come in, and today was their first practice with us as a team. It's tough to just show up and play, particularly in Steve's case because he missed all of camp, no preseason games. Rubens has been around, longer in the organization. He's a little more comfortable around here, but playing last night's game is a lot more difficult than playing against the team in Columbus, and just the nature of the game, the way that it went. So I thought that Rubens had some shifts that were tough for him yesterday, but he still did some good things. He made I think he ended up with 7 hits in the game, so physically he's involved. I think both games he's done a good job getting the puck to the net. So that's good, and Steve's is a good, smart player. I mean, we get behind in the game last night, so he sort of lose that fourth line a little bit, but we like what we've seen from him as well.
Sheldon, we'll just start. I know a lot going on. Have you had any indication at all when Spezia might be hurt?
No, I haven't asked the question, and I haven't been concerned with what we're doing here, so I have no information on what's happening with that.
Sheldon, with a guy like Muzz, consistent, strong all the time, when things don't go for him like last night, do you worry less about him because he is the consistency he has?
Yeah, he's a veteran guy that he knows his game, and he's also very good at assessing his own game. He knows when he's not at his best. Another guy, though, that his job is difficult. He's 25 minutes last night, in a game when he's not having his best night, but we still have to keep putting him over the boards and playing against tough competition and killing penalties and doing all those things. Like those are hard minutes on a guy when the schedule has been what it's been, and he's a guy that's always over 20 minutes. We ask a lot of him, and Justin Hall for that matter, and with Muzz, because I know that he knows, I know how much he cares, he's going to do his best to make sure he's prepared to bounce back the next time out, and that's really what you want.